Lord God, we thank you that today we can come and study your words and also a lot of things that we can use to serve you and for your kingdom. I pray that you give us the wisdom, the understanding, and the right mind to use all the knowledge in the right way to glorify you, to help the people. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Tonight we cover chapter 6 of the effective communication. They will have a few topics that we need to cover tonight. But the first one, big one, is they're talking about how to enter, expand, and exit conversation with grace. So what that means? To enter, to start the conversation the right way, and to keep it on in the good term. And when you have to exit or have to finish, you need to have the right way to exit your conversation or to stop it. So they use the word with grace. So make everyone happy. A lot of time when you start the conversation, people not happy. But sometimes in between your conversation and you finish it and make people happy. So it's still better that way. But when you finish and people not happy, so something wrong. We have to find out and try to change that. Now the word grace here in communication, that spell what? Here will tell us about grace. G represent go, R respectful, A actively, C curious, E engaged. So we try to explain that whenever you start the conversation, you have to keep in mind about grace. Mean that you always have a goal when you start your conversation with anyone. And in order to do that, you need to think about what you're going to talk with people, the group, and you need to have a goal why you talk and what is your intention, what is your goal out of this talking. A lot of people say that, oh, I have no goal, I don't have any intention, it's just tied to uh, burn the time.
Ajahn, can you share screen?
Oh, you did not see it?
No,
Sorry.
I was going to say, Ajahn, you forgot to share the screen.
Oh, I forgot that. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. So now where are we? Oops. I think that I closed the chapter. Let's see. Okay, let me start it again. Okay, let me start again. No, not this one. Let's see. Okay. Now you see the screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Ajahn.
Okay, good. Let me repeat the chapter again. In the short verse, when you going to talk to someone personally, privately, or in a group, they recommend you that you have a plan before you start. Why they recommend you to have a plan? Because you will have a successful conversation. A lot of time when we start talking without any plan, we might get nowhere and we might waste a lot of time and might cause more problems. So this is some recommendation. They say that you start planning with the word grace. And grateful mean that it comes from 5 syllables here, Grace. And every alphabet have meaning here. Mean that G, you start with a goal. In every conversation, you need to have a goal. Why you talk, why you meet, why you discuss. So when you have a goal, in your conversation, you try to reach that goal, or at least make some progress to that goal. So you won't waste your time or energy trying to talk about something. So the goal will help you. Now, the second thing, in order to be a successful conversation or communication, they say that respectful. You always show respect to other people. And in your conversation, the way you speak mean that you care about other people. You respect them, you listen to their opinion, and you share what is the fact. And you try to convince them so they can agree with you and you can reach your goal easier. So, but you don't do it in the way that you demean the people or you put them down or look down on them. Even they're not correct, even they not know the truth, you still need to respect them and give them credit that they don't know all the fact. They don't know all the truth. So you try to help them know more in the respectful way. Instead of saying that you idiot, you don't know anything, they might walk out and don't talk with you again. You might just use the right way to say that, oh, I have more information to share with you. Or some more that maybe interest you. So that will make them feel better that, oh, you have something good to share with them in case they don't know. So that will help the conversation a lot and show that you respect them. You don't look down on them. Number 3 is listen actively. This is important though. A lot of time we don't care much about what other side talk. We just want to present our side. And we just wait for them to finish. And we don't really listen to what they say. So that's not going to help. We need to pay a lot of attention to what other side say. And respond by a little bit question or agreement. If they speak a long time, sometimes you can chime in like say, oh yes, I think so, or I understand, or I see, to show that you really listen and you really follow them. So that will help your conversation so much. Number 4, curious. It means that from time to time you might tell them that, oh, I have some more questions. Can you clarify this? Can you expand more, or you can repeat more? So it means that you really carefully want to understand them correctly. You really respond to what they say. So that show that, oh, this is something that you pay a lot of attention to. Engage. And it means that you show that you want to work with them. And we try to have a plan together. So don't show that you really don't care to work with them, or you don't think that the plan will work. Always show hope that we can work together. We can do something together. Even a baby step, at least we have to start. So don't show that we have no hope. We will never work together. Nothing will be done. So that will destroy all the communication, and the future plan will collapse. So even you and that side have a lot of differences. You still try to make it work, that we have to take a baby step of understanding that we want to work together. We try. So keep engaging to show that we want to work. And the last one is engage, mean that that I already explained, that we try to make it impression that we really care and want a plan and want something to start, at least to continue the conversation or continue the project or the plan. So after you follow the GRACE advice, the 5GRACE, most of the discussion will have some progress. Of both sides will have good feeling that we try to work it out. Instead of getting mad, storming out of the meeting, cursing one another, and never want to talk to one another again. Especially at a Christian and at a church, we need to engage all this advice. But so many church meetings, I found out that it ended up bad. Both sides, every side got so angry. And most people don't want to talk to each other again. Or even worse, the church split. So we need to do something better than that. Now they talk about the golden rule, what that means. When you heard this verse, you always think about, in simple thing, the golden rule always say that treat others the way you want them to treat you. And this is always the golden rule. You don't get what you don't give. So you always give first and you will get it back. That always in general sense of golden rule, because this rule will apply to good neighbor, good friend, good family. So they give you some advice here, this. Quick to listen, mean that whatever another side say, you try to pay attention. Always stop talking and listen. When people try to say something, always pay attention. So this is the first golden rule that we need to have. And number two, they recommend us is slow to speak. And this is the rule of the Bible too. Fast to listen, slow to speak. Why? Take more time to listen and speak slow after you think well. And somebody say that their mouth go faster than their head. So what that mean? They already say a lot of bad things until their head catch up. That, oh, I make a lot of mistake because my mouth go faster than my head. So that is problem. And the Bible golden rule of the Bible is listen a lot, think first before we say anything. Because a lot of things that we already say, we cannot take it back. And it could hurt everyone. So when we spend more time to think about everything before we say it, that will prevent a lot of problem later on. So this is always give some advice before you say something that you're not so sure or you don't understand. They say that instead of saying that, oh, you say this, you say that, try to say that, can you repeat what you say? Or can you clarify more to me? Or if you think you understand them, say that I understand you everything, but try to say that, what do you mean when you say that? Or do I understand correctly what you say? Why? Because why? When you say that, it means that you give another side more time to think again or to correct themselves. When people have a second chance, they might change what they say or they make it better. So it means that you are people a second chance, even they say something that you don't like or something that hurtful, something that not going to work. Instead of sum up that, okay, you already say this, we're not going to continue. But instead say that, well, can you clarify what you say? Or can you say it again? What do you mean? So why you say that? It's always when you want to give people a second chance or to think over. And you don't get to take the first word for it. People can change their mind and people can rethink because a lot of people speak too fast. And most of the time faster than they thought. And they feel sorry after they say it. So you try to give people that chance to correct themselves and to make the plan work. And number 3 is a very good advice, slow to angry. A lot of us get angry so easy. Some people say that when you get older, you're supposed to be more calmer or more mellow, but not necessarily. I know a lot of old people get angry so fast. It's still fast. So sometimes it's personality too. Some people are mad all the time, their whole life. And when they get older, it's even worse, not better. Possible. But anyway, if you want to be a good communicator, you need to learn how to control your emotion. If you get angry so easy, you cannot be a good one. Nobody should send you to any meeting or to work out with any stranger because you destroy all the plan. You cause more problems. So you should excuse yourself if you get angry too easy because you are not a good communicator. You are not a good negotiator. You cannot be a good ambassador if you get angry so easy. You can be a politician. A lot of politicians can get angry because it might work for them. But as a Christian communicator, we have to learn how to control our emotion, especially anger. Now, what more advice? They strongly recommend that when we have to communicate with non-believer and you are Christian, you have to be even extremely careful because you try to show Jesus to them. And they might come back to haunt you that they might say that this is Jesus' disciple, this is how a Christian react. So you always not just going to lose face. You're going to make the name of Christians bad too. When you get angry so easy and you fight with people everywhere all the time, you are not good example. So they always recommend us, calm down, have a plan, control yourself. If you cannot, let someone else do the job and you just sit behind and wait. Because not everyone can be a good communicator. We can learn all the skill, we can learn all the advice, but still, if you cannot use it, it's no use. A lot of people know so much, but cannot use most of them. So it's no use. So you better know as much as you can use. Okay, I will stop here a little bit to come back to you for your question or comment about your thinking about a good communicator from Christian perspective, especially from the advice of grace, GRACE. So you remember now what grace is all about? Go. Respectful. Actively listening. And always engaging. And what C is about. Curious. Okay, that's the word grace. Now I want to know that you have those grace quality or you don't have.
Chad, I don't have.
Because you don't know before or you don't care about it.
Yeah, I don't know before. I learned a lot. That's why I learned a lot, Chad.
Now, which one that you think is difficult for you to develop from that 5 GRACE?
I would say all of them.
Well, you never try, so you might think it's difficult. But some of you already have that quality. You just learn how to use them.
Yeah, Chad, like you said, when you get older, that your personality start changing, and you're more mature. That's I think that's I'm feeling a little bit.
Yeah, we're supposed to getting better because we have a lot more experience and a lot of years. When I was young, I am a very, very angry person all the time. But thank God, I'm getting older. I calm down a lot.
John, I think a lot of this information we will need to put into practice to remember. And I think that depend on the family that you come from. Some families, some of these things will be already common sense for them, but other family depend how you raise, and you from a family that don't have all these things, then that's different. And I think that we need to practice to to be able to get it.
Yeah, I agree with you because I see culture get involved a lot. Some culture, they very calm. Some culture, they always hot tempered. Sorry to say this, but I saw in East Asian culture, if you get the influence of Chinese, Japanese, Korean, they are always angry, always hot tempered, always combative. But if you come from the Far East Asia, they're more calmer because the culture teach them that way. So you learn since you're very young from your culture. But psychology will say that we all have different personality. Culture is part that you learn later on, but you're born with a certain personality too.
Yeah, I think
So
the
this-
Bible
yeah.
really teach us that, I like the in Proverbs talk about, slow to speak and, quick to think. So I think that it's good to put in practice so we, we can do better.
Yes. And as you know that some people will need a lot of work or practice to control themselves. If they grew up in the environment that people angry all the time, or you need to fight to survive. But if you come from the society that very calm, very quiet, you learn it very young.
And the term, earlier you mentioned that if somebody says something you not understand, and you ask them to repeat again. So can you just try to say it the way that you understand, and then to see if they say that is what I mean? Because sometimes people think in the head, but the word that they put out isn't like what they think.
Yes, you can just start by saying that, do I understand you correctly?
Okay.
That what you say this, that what you mean? Because you're right, some people say a certain thing, but they don't mean that what you think. And we misunderstood them. And this is very culturally true. The way Americans speak, and even you understand the words, but sometimes when crossed to a different culture, it means bad. Even they mean good, but in your culture, it means bad. So you need to understand the intention correctly. So now this is important. When you work with people from different culture, you need to understand both culture. If not, you misunderstood one another all the time. You might feel that way when you first came to America and the American people talk to you. You might say sometimes that you feel that they're not really polite. They're not really respect you. But after you stay here long enough, you find out that they just very sincere. They just say what they think. But we come from the culture that we don't say what we think. We don't tell them what we feel. They need to guess.
Yeah, I think understanding the culture is very important.
You know that I have seen that a lot of churches, Christians misunderstand one another. A lot of time is because of miscommunication, not bad intention. And nobody wants to understand another side because they think another side means bad. But I found out that a lot of time they don't mean bad. But the way they say it, the way they communicate it might get the wrong, send the wrong signal. Now, how you overcome all those, especially in church?
Yeah, I like the phrase that treat others as you want yourself to be treated.
I have question, Ajahn.
Yes.
And then some family, the parent, they really don't know what they're doing, they don't even know what they taught or teach the children. And then children, they really respectfully each other. And then some family, parent very respectfully, very polite, but children doesn't know nothing, just like they want to do whatever they want to do, just do it. I just don't know how they came from like that, which way exactly they came from.
Well, you know that psychology say that the way we are come from two sources. First, inherited mean that you inherit from your ancestor. Personality comes by birth, some trait you're born with. And another big part is by learning. Your environment, who raised you up, what you see every day. And that two things work together to make you. Your personality from birth and also how the people who raise you up, your environment. Sometimes you say that the parents sound nice, but the parents don't raise them up, somebody else. Like most our kids are raised by babysitter. Who are they? And that have a big impact on your children because they stay with your children a lot of time, more than you. So our children learn from that babysitter, good or bad. Now, how you think what you get from birth, how many percentage that impact you, and how many percentage what you learn from someone that raised you up or your environment, how many percentage you think impact you? Well,
I think the environment around you will affect a lot, and because sometimes, you know, like San said, sometimes we raise our children well, but when they go to school, they expose themselves to kids that, you know, do different things, and they come home, they act different.
I agree with that because they have 8 hours in school and you came home how many? Maybe 2 hours with your family.
Yeah, this is why a lot of Christians don't send their kid to public school anymore because they believe the bad environment. But still, spend more time with your children. I think you can have a big impact on their life too.
Yeah, because I've seen there's a lot, so many family, the parent, some they don't even know how to talk, the very kind of deafly, and then the children, they're growing up, they can be lawyer, they can be doctor, they can be many things. And then some the parents kind of lawmaker or whatever thing, the children was really, really bad down street. So I said, if how this happen like this?
Yeah, so now you see there are two things besides you give to your children from birth, the environment form them up.
What I see that sometimes, you know, kids that from poor family, because they've been through things like that, and they want to study hard, because I believe that tough time, you know, create a stronger man. Some from easy family because their parents are rich and they don't have to work that hard, and they just like easy life, and then it can make them become, you know, that kind of person. And you know, I see both way.
You heard Bill Gates used to be #1 richest man on earth. He declared to the whole world that my children not going to get all my money. He tell them since they're young that you need to work hard to earn your living. I'm not going to give you all my money. Why he said that? Because he afraid that his children going to be rotten spoiled, not going to learn, not to study, not to work hard, because they all have all the money. Why have to work? Why have to study? So he better tell them upfront that I'm not going to give you my money. You need to earn it. Well, if you were Bill Gates children, what you feel? My dad not going to give me his money.
I'll get my own. Study hard.
He do that for his children. So make them study hard, work hard. If not, no more success. All the money will not going to help them, but going to destroy them.
Ajahn, also Jackie Chan too. You know, he doesn't give his money at all to his son, his daughter. Even his daughter was homeless. He still said, nope, you have to find your way out. He said that he will give all his money to charity. It is true, because a lot of rich people, the children, they take life too easy. They just said, okay, my parents are rich, so when they die, I inherit all of them. You know, so it's good that they make it clear to them when they're young that you need to study hard and earn your own money. Yeah, I know, but you know, when we first came over to America from Thailand, same thing. Well, you know, my parents, they don't have money. They just have like $300 on them. And my dad worked very hard too. He go to school for 6 months. After that, they said, okay, we'll cut you off. You have to work. So my dad have to work like very part-time to support 7 of us. You know, I start working when I'm like eligible to work, like 15 and a half. Every summer I go to summer school and I work. So my first job is picking strawberry in Oregon. And I save $500. I bring it back to my mom. I let her save it for me. When I turned 18, I said, okay, Mom, I need the money to pay for my car. You know, she give me back my $500 I go down my car. So that's how you learn. I mean, yeah, that's I always tell Zach and Daniel too, same thing. You know, so we work hard. You know, we struggle a lot. So, you know, if you guys don't study hard, if you don't open your eyes now, later you go through hardship, you cannot blame on us. You know, we teach them very young age. And if they don't listen, if they choose not to listen, then, you know, we always tell them, don't blame on us. We train you when you're little, and it's up to you to apply. And we're here. We will always be your parent and support you. But if you don't want to get going, then later things will be more expensive. You know, everything will be so expensive compared to now. So if you want, you think you can make it, you're going to take it easy, fine with me, but later you don't blame on us. So we talk to them heart to heart many, many times. We always sit them down and talk to them, but I don't know, maybe go one ear to another. I don't know, but Zach, our oldest son, will say, okay. So I said, yeah, you've been saying okay for a long time. So, yeah, it's hard. And Ajahn, you also said that how we overcome our church problem, you know. Yeah, me and Nathan will also go through a hardship too. And it's really hard to work with the leaders. You know, like, yeah, you say respect them, hear what they have to say. But, you know, but for you, like you say, as you get older, you're more humble and kind of slow down. But I don't know about the Mian people. I felt like the older they get, the more grumpier they get, you know? So it's very hard. And we try to work out with them, and they always think that they're right. You know, it's about the culture thing. I think also personality. They're so into like, I always right. You know, so they don't listen to nobody. You know, but for us, we know that it's wrong, but to them, they don't see it's wrong. So it's really, really hard to work with them. So me and Nathan were also struggling to pray for us.
Well, thank you for sharing. I believe that all of you will learn all this difficult thing to be leader and to communicate to all your people. if you study the Bible well, you know that Moses, Abraham, David, Samuel, all faced all the difficult thing with the people. And they only depend on God. Their life's not going to be easy. Their job is not easy. But God always be there to help them. Without God, they cannot do all those things. You look at Moses' situation. Moses so humble and tried to listen to them, but they rebelled against him time after time and almost killed Moses several times. But God always there to protect Moses and to help him. But he have to be stable, mean that he always humble and he always listen. So your job not going to be easy. Even we get to learn a lot more skill. Some people will never care whatever you say and whatever you do. And don't think that if you know all the skill, you can work with everyone. No, there will some special situation that the people who not going to work with you, whatever you try. And you might come back and check why. I try everything, it doesn't work with certain people. Well, you're right.
Then Ajahn, shall we just give up and move on then? The last time you said move on?
Well, you keep doing your work. You don't need to worry too much about a certain people. I don't know, God put them there to train you or Satan put them there to persecute you. If you don't have some, I can share some with you. I mean to share those people with you. You need more of troublemaker.
I think we have enough in our church. We don't need any more.
Yeah, God is very fair. He provides our troublemaker in every church. To keep us humble. So we can depend on God all the time.
Ajahn, to me, if just members, I don't mind. I will understand, but the problem is with the among the leaders. You know, you're supposedly they love God, they want to serve God, but another way we said, that's how you love God, that's how you want to serve God. You know, it doesn't look like, you know.
Well, when you work longer, you will find out that the one you trust the most or the one that you love the most will hurt you the most.
Yeah, I think sometimes when we ask God to give us patience and God send people troublemakers so we can be more patient. Can learn that.
I have been serving God more than 40 years. I mean at full time. But if I can say I served God all my life since I was a young boy. I teach Sunday school at 15 years old. And I think my life going to be getting better. And I will feel less of the troublemaker at church, but no. Even at this stage of my life, almost 70 years, I still face a lot of troublemaker. Never lack of them. So
So
it's
you do.
always challenging. Yeah.
What do you do with that? How you deal with that? Just let go or
Well, a lot of times you just have to live with it.
Okay.
And thank God that He's still using you and still keep you up with all the challenge that you need to depend on Him all the time. So I just want to share with you that serving God after many years is not going to be easier. It's going to be all challenging your whole life when you're serving God. Never get bored. It's always excitement.
Yeah, Ajahn, maybe we are just like when we were kids, our parents give us the lighter load and then we get bigger, older, and they give us a heavier loads because they know that how much we can carry, right?
Yes. Okay, anything else? So let me go back to the note. We already talked about the golden rule that we're supposed to have all the time. And now they talk about when you try to communicate on the sensitive topic, you need to be tactful. So what that mean? It means that you need to use your wisdom because a lot of times you cannot talk directly or openly. You need to be careful when to talk and who you can share. Not everyone can take some information or sensitive thing. It's too touchy for them or too sensitive for them or they're too emotional, not stable. So when you have to deal with different people in church, especially in church or in all kind of environment, not everyone can take a certain topic. So you need to know that some people cannot take it. Some people cannot accept it. So you have to be careful and know that this topic or this thing will break someone or destroy someone. So how you decide? I say that here I quote Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, saying something that, well, I think we Christians can use. The Bible saying something similar to this. Respond intelligently, even to the unintelligent treatment. So what that means in English? It means that even people treat you bad, you don't treat them bad. Even they treat you in the way that you feel that is so stupid or no sense, but you don't react that way. Because you know better that you don't lower yourself to that level to deal with them. So what that means? It means that God put you high. You more mature. You don't go down to fight with little kid. Even little kid attack you or do something bad, you still not go down on the floor and fight with little kid because you are more mature than them. So what that mean? It means that when God put you as a leader, you're supposed to be more mature spiritually, emotionally, intelligently, And not everyone in your congregation or in your environment are the same level. Paul mentioned that a lot of them are baby spiritually, even their age is a lot, but their spiritual life is a baby. And now in our society, you know that some people 30, 40 years old, but their brain is about 6 years old. Or the emotion is like 3 years old. Even they sit in a congregation in your church for many years, you know that the emotionally age is around 3, 4 years old. Or the intelligence maybe 7 or 6 years old. Now when they have problems, you cannot treat them the same way. And they cannot accept a lot of things. So you need to know each one that you deal with well. So you can help them too, not just try to deal with them, but try to help them. And help other people to understand them too. Some people might say that they are troublemakers. Why don't kick them out of your church? Well, God wanted to love them and to help them. And you kick them out where they go. The best they can go is go to another church and cause problem again. But you already know them well. God might want them to stay with you, so you can help them. So this is the story, for example, here that in many situations, there are always some people who cause problem or trouble all the time. But you as a leader, you need to control the situation. You need to talk to the whole group in the right way and let them understand the situation or understand some people who not behave very well. Now what tech is? Ability to tell the truth in the way that consider other people feeling and reaction. It allows you to give difficult feedback, communicate sensitive information, and say the right thing to preserve relationship. So this tag just means the intelligence to say or not to, how to treat or not to treat. It means that you have the wisdom to know that what you should do or what you should not do right now or when for different people. Now you see that not everyone you can treat the same way. Or you can look at everyone in the same level. This means that you need to understand each one differently. They have different needs, they have different understanding, they have different intelligence, they have different level of maturity in God, in the words of God. So this is difficult job. But if you want to help your whole congregation, you need to know them, understand them, and help other people to know them, understand them too. It's not just you. Because a lot of people might think this guy is a troublemaker, get rid of him. Well, God put him there for a purpose. So it's your job, try to help him. So you need to have the tag that in this whole thing talk about the intelligence, the ability, the sensitivity about different needs. And in many situations, for example, here they say that when you need to tell the bad news to the whole congregation or to people, if you don't have the ability, the intelligence, the tact, you might go straight. Okay, the news comes that your husband got hit by a truck, he dead. Well, it might not be the right way to say that in the congregation or in front of a lot of people. So you need to know the person, how old is she, how sensitive she is. You might have to take her out, talk privately, and hold her hand and just look at her and let her guess what's going on. And sometimes she might guess what's going on. So this is the different way how you treat different people, how you show and tell them the bad news, the sensitive news or information. And it's just ability to do with different person in different way. So you have to be flexible. Somebody say, I know one way, and I use just one way to do everything. So it might not be good enough as a leader. You need to have many options to deal with different people. Don't say that I know just one way. Maybe you're not really good enough to do that job. I know a lot of people at church who say that this is me, only one way. I do everything this way. So I don't think he can be a good leader. He's not flexible enough. And he don't understand other people's need or feeling. He just care about what he want to do. So this is bad. And number three, when you have tax, it means that you show the people that you have good manner, you have good grace, and you have good ability to deal with different situations. And finally, if you know how to deal with different people in different ways, you avoid a lot of conflict, a lot of problems. When you say that I have just one way to treat everyone, you try to be fair, but it doesn't work that way. And you have a lot of problem with almost everyone. Because everyone is different and different from you too. Don't say that this is my way. If you want to be a church leader, you need to understand everyone and different needs, different situation. That means tact. You have the tact, the ability to do that. And they give you some tips. They say that culture get involved. That I always say that some culture train you well, and you already equipped with a certain thing to do that. But some culture don't have that. You need to relearn. Some culture is don't care about anyone, that just teach you to care about yourself first. But in order to be a Christian leader, you need to change that culture. So anything that against Christianity or the Bible, we need to change. The Bible have a better way, better culture that we need to accept. And tip number 2, how you balance your right and also other people's need. So it's sometimes you need to understand how you're not going to compromise your faith or your belief in order to save someone or help someone. So this is ability. You still keep your faith. You still keep your integrity. In the same time, you also help other people without compromise your belief. So how far you can go. So this is the balance you need to know. Here I give you example. For example, your boss asks you to take over a lot of his work. And you might say that, thank you for trusting me with some of your responsibility, but I'm sorry, I can't help you this time because of my workload. Is there anything I could help you with next week when I have more time? So this is some example that the boss want to dump his work on you, and you know that you cannot handle that. Instead of saying no right away, you need to find a good way to let him know that you want to help him, but you cannot at the moment. It doesn't mean you not care to help him, but now you cannot handle that. But in the future, you might can help him. So now you see the way you respond to the manager. It's very tactful. You never say no, but in the same time, you don't say yes. And people understand the situation well, that you care, but you cannot do it now. So this is how we leaders need to know how to deal with difficult people or difficult situations with tactful ability. And he's not lying because he's sincere, but also share the truth in the right way. And there are many more examples, like someone who always late, instead of kick him out or say bad thing, you try to find a way to help him by saying that, oh, you are late lately all the time. Maybe you have some problem that I can help. Instead of say that, well, I give you the last chance. If you don't be on time tomorrow, you better find a new job. So that is not helping. And it means that you're blaming him for all the situation without knowing why he left. So spend time to listen and offer help, and that will make things a lot better. And in the last section here, we give you some idea how to develop the text that you can have the skill to deal with different situations yourself in your life or in your church. Okay, we're going to come back here a little bit later. I want to go back to you for your question and your reflection about how to use text in different situations in your work or in your responsibility. I believe all of you have experienced that and how you deal with that. And you're happy with what you have done, or if you can change that, what you're going to change. Now we talk about past experience that you have in different situations. Well, you never faced those situations? I believe so. But I think a lot of time you forget or you just quiet.
Well, John, in the past, I used to do what I'm not supposed to do. Like when somebody asks me to do something, just like what you just said, instead I just say no because I know that I cannot do it. Instead of, try to say different and go different route and try to make it better. And also, I kind of think that because my way is my way or no way. A lot of time when I build something, I know the code, and my customer said, I want you to build this way, and I know that it's not code because if I do that, I won't pass the code. And I say no, either my way or no way. And I think I should find a better way to say, because even I know that my way is the right way, because the code tell us what to do. And I think we need to find a way to say things better.
So how you think that you're going to do a different way?
Well, I probably just explain to them that, the way you think is good, but, according to code, because how they want us to do it, and because if we do that, gonna violate the code and it's gonna be problem in the future or something like that.
Yeah, you can bring the code to show them what the difference.
Yeah.
And you might try to help them to compromise, mean that adjust what they think a little bit to fit the code. And tell them it might work if we adjust a little bit. So there is always a way. It's just we need to spend some time try to help people from their perspective. A lot of homeowners have no idea what code is, what government requirement is.
Yeah.
But most of them will listen to you if they know that you care and you try to help them. And church leader too, sometimes we get so tired to deal with all the minor thing with some of our people, because you might deal with that all the time until you get so tired. But different people have different needs.
I used to be very quiet, but when I get older, I cannot hold on to the the temper. sometimes it make me like stuff that like when they don't say it right, or when they don't, and it's kind of like I want to explode. Sometimes I want to say it out, especially when people are talking too much and don't give a chance for you to talk. Oh, I explode. I don't know, maybe because the older you get, the more you become like to temper. I don't know.
Yeah, I might grow up differently. When I was young, I saw hot temper. I saw don't care about anyone. So now I getting old, I see some people act that way. I see myself when I was young. So I understand them a lot now.
When I think so many years I haven't speak out the way I'm supposed to, but I think come to the time they have to speak out, and then maybe that holds there for a long time, and got thing to say it, sometimes it might not be sound good, to people's ear, but sometimes you have to let it out, right?
Right, but in the tactful way. Yeah, you still have to stand by the truth, but in the understanding way. As Jesus said that I come for the sick people. So you can guess people who come to church are sick. Either physically, emotionally, and spiritually are sick. You might look this way. Some of them getting better, but we still are sick. So what's else in situation that you feel that you cannot handle it anymore? You know that church leader quit church, quit ministry. Thousands and thousands of them doing that every year. So the question always good to ask why. And most of the time because they cannot handle all the situation or the problem anymore. And they affect their own family, it affect their own marriage. So they need to decide to save their family, save their marriage. So they quit ministry.
I think when serving God, the best way is to be yourself, to live yourself. Sometimes two people is good, but it's gonna get, because you take a lot of time from your family, your wife, your children, and it's going to, we need to balance, and I know that's tough.
Let me put one situation for you to think. I have a friend who's serving God for so long, but in the past few years, some member criticized him that your children is so bad. How could you cannot train your own children in a good way? How could you teach us? They keep criticizing him for many years. Finally, he decided to quit. So you think that it's fair, or how he react is good enough?
I don't think that's fair, John. He should say, because I have to sacrifice for you, the church. I give up my family as a sacrifice. To think about that, right? But
So if you were him, what should you do?
Well, sometimes you have to learn to take what do you call it? Criticism. It's gonna be always criticism, Ajahn.
Yeah, sometimes if you allow what he tell you to work in your life, then that person is your master. And like we talked earlier, we sometimes better than what people think who we are. Just like Kong Sai said, because we spend a lot of time in the church and we take a lot of time with our children, for our children to serve others, and we just like the starving baker, he's the baker, but he's starving because he don't have time to feed himself, and he feed others a lot. And even just like people, mechanic people, they have a lot of time to go fix other people's car, but their car is broken.
Yeah, I have a member who a mechanic, and his wife complained all the time. Her car broke down. Her car have problem. He said, my husband have time for everyone except my car.
Even sometimes, like even a lawyer, the son of a lawyer, is still commit crime.
It's not going to be easy, but you need to know what God called you to do. And God is your real boss, not your people. You're there because God say, not because they say. You will keep doing until God tell you what to do. If you listen to people, you cannot continue serving God. You listen to God. For my friend, in the end, God still saved his family. They turned out to be better. And he come back serving God again. So he did not give up. So that's a good thing. But he went through the valley of death for many years.
Sometimes I feel like be a regular church member is better than be a leader in the church. Be a regular church member, you just go to church and come home. But be a leader, there's a lot of things.
Well, it's not your choice. God called you.
Yeah.
Moses told God, don't use me, use someone else.
But sometimes like the people just use what you preach, and they try to come back and attack you, especially the people that you know well.
Well, tell them this is the word of God. It's for me too.
I guess we do our best, and do our best ability that God give us to be honest, be good example, and serve God.
So it's all bring us to God that we need to depend on Him all the time. By His grace alone. Without that, we cannot survive. We can learn all the technique, we can learn all the skill, but still we need God in everything.
So what about Ajahn, how are you going to deal with someone that always like discourage you and disappoint you in so many things? Maybe sometimes I feel like we should go direct and talk direct to them. The way that you feel, the thing that they did
Well,
is.
I tried, but those people will never change.
Ajahn also, excuse me. Ajahn also take it this way. Maybe God had one person there is such a sharpness. Is that right?
I know sometimes I feel like it's not easy. If the church member is okay, but in the church leader position, and then like sometimes I feel like they should not like talking like that, because the Bible say that you should use your word to praise and then encourage each other. But I come to the point that you say the word and discourage people, something like that. Like I don't know, like sometimes I feel like maybe just go direct, talk to them directly, like how you feel.
Well, it's a good way because Jesus recommended us to do that. But at least you try, but don't expect that they will change. But at least you have to do something.
Yeah, there is at least to do something, because I feel like keep quiet all the time, but they don't even know how you feel. They just keep doing it again. And then sometimes I feel like it's too much in life.
Yeah, Jesus recommend that you got to talk directly, person one by one. If it doesn't work, you might have to take a few leaders with you to talk again, the second try. If not, you need to get the church involved if it's big enough. So that's the step that you need to take if you want to solve the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we hate each other now, but like to share how we feel,
Yeah, but pray a lot about that. A lot of time God will help in some way, somehow. You know that even Paul himself have to face all these things in his ministry. Another leader stabbed him at the back or talk bad thing about him. It happened to Paul too. And sometimes because of jealousy, or Satan used them or situation.
John, is it good to use the phrase that don't be afraid the one who can kill the flesh, but afraid the one who can kill the soul? Also, I think that because as a leader, God will what's called
Protect you.
Yeah, well, because as a leader, we be more punished if we commit something wrong.
Yeah, you look at Moses' situation. A lot of Israelites come up against him, even his own brother and sister. And the Levi come against Moses several times, and Moses don't need to do much. God protect him, and God punish those people. So if you don't fight back, God will fight for you. So that's even better. But you don't need to pray to God, God kill that person or break his arm or hurt him. No, don't pray that way.
Just pray for those who persecute you, right?
Yeah,
pray in a good way.
Yeah, that God will change their heart, let them see the truth. So in a good way, you pray for them. And God will get involved, and that God will help. Okay, let me go back to the note to finish it first and we can come back. Okay, now more advice how to developing text. Mean that the skill that you need to deal with difficult people or difficult situation. They say that you can control the environment, mean that when bad thing happen or some situation, you can, they mean that the right environment mean that you pick the place that you want to talk and you pick the time, the good time, and you pick the people that going to be with you. So it means that you don't let thing happen by itself, but you plan. You take the right people with you and you pick the right time, the right place to talk or to deal with the situation. So this means that you're in control of all the environment. And then time. Besides in general time, it might not be one time done. You might have to plan for several times to deal with the situation or to talk about that situation. Because you don't know that which time will work best. So you have to try maybe several times. And choose your words carefully. Now, you know that one word can mean so much. So you need to be careful. Instead of saying, people might feel that we accusing them or we blame them. Instead, we need to be careful to say that it looked like something happened and people misunderstood some situation or some misunderstanding happened. So instead of blaming everyone, you say that some misunderstanding happened or people lack the fact or don't know the information. So we try to clarify what's going on. So in general, you don't blame anyone and you don't want to put everyone on spot. But you show them that you just want to solve the problem and to clear all the misunderstanding. So this is something really you need to plan carefully. And what's else? Now, number 4 advice that we can do, your body language. Sometimes you speak nicely, but your action don't show the same way. What that means? You stand up, you crunch your fist, you're stamping on the or you keep walking back and forth. People say that you're nervous or you're angry. Even you don't say it, but you show. So be careful. Your language, your body language, your eye, what you look, your hand, and everything. Calm down and be careful. Don't send the wrong signal to people. And that's not going to help about your body language. What you say might mean just 20, 30%, but what you act, say 70, 80%. And people look at your action more than they hear what you say. Now you're emotional. People might make you angry or try to make you feel bad. You have to control your emotion. And think that people misunderstood, people react wrong, but you are not one of them. And you come with a goal to solve the problem, to help them. So you need to control your emotion. Even sometimes they're accusing you or they make you feel bad. But you need to know that you come there by the help of God to solve the problem. So it's not really about you. It's about God and his kingdom, his church, for majority, for everyone. So don't take it too personally. Even it look like they attack you personally. But Satan have mean more than that. So now you change your enemy. It's not that person, it's your enemy. But Satan himself using that person, using the situation, fighting you. Now you see that who is your real enemy. It's not your friend. It's not your member. It's not your staff. But Satan using them for that purpose. So when you look at different targets, you feel sorry for that person. And you want to help that person instead of trying to hurt that person. Now, this is some common example. In many business or even in ministry, sometimes you need to let someone go, mean that you have to fire them. How you do that? Because they did bad thing that you cannot keep them, or because of bad situation, you need to reduce staff. What should you do? Well, you need to find a good way or the right way to do it. And each situation is different. It depends on what happened. If money is a big problem and you need to reduce staff, what should you do? You need to find different options first and come to the point that this is the only option we have now, or the best thing for the time being. Let them know that it's not last forever, but we need to do something now. So this is very difficult situation when you need to let some of your team go, mean that they lose their job. Now, number two, the difficult in church or in many ministry is giving feedback. Mean that when you evaluate the work of someone, or let someone give feedback on that person, you know that in many cultures, people cannot get evaluation sincerely. The Thai-Lao have very, very bad feeling when anyone try to evaluate them, especially their friend, because they're afraid of losing face. And if you don't say all the nice thing about them, and when you say something bad, you might lose friendship. You might lose all the goodwill that you have with that person. They don't care much about what you try to evaluate them, but they care much about their faith in public. I don't know in some other culture is that bad or not, but I know that I lose some students because when we evaluate or feel on their project or what work they do, they quit, mean that they drop out of school completely all the program. So that is mean that they cannot take it at all. I believe that you have seen that. And I don't know how bad is your culture about saving face, losing face. Okay, number three is when you have to say no for someone to invite you to do something, dinner, party, or many things, and you need to say no. What is the good way to say no that they don't feel hurt or they feel good? Well, you need to say that you want to come, but something serious happened. You might still send a card, the money, the gift, and promise them that if you have some time, you might go to visit them or spend some time with them. But now, at that moment, that situation, you cannot go. So that may make them feel good that you don't say no right away, but you still do something. The fourth situation that you have to deal with, gossip. When people gossip, make rumor about you or about church, about project, about a lot of things. What you deal with that? Well, you might just listen to them and say thank you for your information. And my add on that people have different thinking or idea. And I accept different idea or thinking. So instead of say that, oh, I don't like what they say, or they lie about me, or show your anger, it might not help. But instead saying that, well, people have different ideas, different thinking, and nobody can agree with everything I have done. That is okay. I can accept the differences. And they can tell me what they think. So that instead of try to look at bad side or blame them, you show that you understand and you care what they feel. And the gossip not going to destroy you. It's just a different idea, different response, different thinking, and different perspective. They can tell you. Let them know that they can tell you directly. They don't need to make a rumor or gossip. You can take what they think, so that will make a big difference. Now, how you handle disagreement? It happens all the time, but the good way to let them know that we look from different perspectives. It's like I heard a story that you might hear before. They say that they sent 10 blind men who never seen elephant in their whole life, and let them touch the elephant from different part of the elephant. After a few minutes, they take them back and ask them, what elephant feel like for you? Now the 10 blind men can explain the elephant in different way, because what? They never seen elephant. Even there, they just touched one part of elephant. They touched the tongue, the nose, the leg, the tail, and we are the same thing. We don't see the whole picture. We just see a little bit from our own point of view. And we need to learn to see people disagree with us because they look from a different perspective. And we cannot see everything. We are right on one part, and they might be right on another part. So that is a good thing, to accept this agreement and to honor all different thinking. We don't need to fight on that. And number 6 different situation is when you need to present your project or something that you do, and not everyone going to agree with you, and not everyone going to like what you present. You need to accept that. And it's difficult for you yourself to present that, because people think that, oh, you want everything yourself, or you want everything your way. But you need to open up that you accept disagreement, you accept idea, and we can improve that project. If you want to help, you accept help. So that's a good way. Instead of say, this is my way, this is my plan. But you present that this is our plan, this is our project. We all going to work together to improve it, to make it better. So this is many other advice that I write down here. You can go more detail. And we don't have all the time, but I will come to get your reflection about how to deal with different situations, how to handle all these things. A few more minutes for your question. You think that what we learned tonight will work for you? It will help you with your work?
Yes, Ajahn.
Which one that you like the best of that new idea that you got tonight?
Oh, a lot of them.
Yeah, if we can adopt a lot of them, I think we're going to be a new person. We're going to look at the world in a different way.
Yeah, we learn to accept different people, different perspective about different culture, and like people it's hard to deal with, you know, it's just leave them there. So maybe for a purpose and hope that God will change them in the future. Yeah, in the old day, you know, I used to think that why this person is troublemaker, why not just kick them out? But you know, just like you just said, Ajahn, maybe God has put them there for a purpose, and yeah.
Yeah, I have some leader in my church who want all the shortcut, kick them out. Well, I say you kick one out, God send more. So we need them. Will you believe that one day those enemies might prove themselves to be one of your best friends? You heard the story about the little mouse and the lion? They said in the jungle, one day a little mouse come to sneak in and steal the food of the lion. The lion catch him and say, "I got to eat you." The little mouse said, "Don't eat me, I'm so small. Spare me, one day I will come to help you, save you." The lion laughed, but he let him go because he's so small. Don't waste his dinner anyway. But one day the lion got catched by a trap, and the little mouse come to save him. It's a story, but it makes a lot of sense. Or the lion fan cannot help him. The trap is keep him there, and everyone run away. The little mouse come to chew the trap and save the lion. So some of your bad enemy one day will turn out to be your best friend. And you will be happy that you not kill him early on. And one day you have the story of the little mouse to tell. Okay, I will pray with you and let you go because I'm supposed to give you some break time, and at 7:30 we have another class. So you still have 1 hour for your small group if you decide to join a group. If not, you still need to work on your project in that 1 hour. If you want to do it yourself, it's okay.
Ajahn, for the homework, can we just read through the lecture note and simplify that, or write in our own word in another way that we understand? Is that also considered?
Yeah, the small group mainly you go over the note and write 1 page of the report, what you talk, what you learn, what your question or something. But if you cannot join the group, you can do it yourself, 1 page too. That will work. but it's always good to have some friend to share your idea or their idea if you can join a group. Okay, any more questions before I let you go for tonight? And I will see you next week for the first class. But 7:30, we're supposed to have the second class. Okay, let's pray. Loving God, we thank you for tonight, for what we learned. We know that we are not perfect and we're still learning. Help us to trust on you, and by your grace that we can survive all the difficult things and depends on you all the time. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay.
All right, thank you, John.
Welcome. See some of you next week. Some of you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.
สวัสดีครับอาจารย์
สวัสดีเลง
สวัสดี
So how the weather there
not bad อาจารย์ weather วันนี้ก็ประมาณ70-80ก็ not bad อากาศก็โอเค
Okay, not bad. No storm, no nothing.
no not I know of
เห็นเขาบอกว่า there will be storm, hurricane or something on the east and the south.
เหรอไม่รู้สิ เดี๋ยวนี้ไม่ค่อยได้didn't get to watch the news ไม่ดูฟังข่าวมานานแล้ว หลายเดือนแล้ว
งานเยอะไหม your work
งานก็เยอะก็พยายามที่ organize the new way of running the business มันก็พบความลำบากหลายอย่างเพราะเมื่อก่อนเซราเป็นคนทำแต่ตอนนี้เขา not being helpful kind of on strike like เขาต้องการคิดเขาต้องการที่จะ
Let us pray. Loving God, we thank you that we can come again to study your words. Give us the wisdom, the understanding, and we can use it for our life, for your ministry, your church. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Chapter 7. Okay. John chapter 6. Say that after this thing, Jesus went over to the Sea of Galilee with also the Sea of Tiberias. This is the same name. Today we know as the Sea of Galilee, but the old name is also the Sea of Tiberias. And we already say that Galilee is Jesus' headquarters. He spent most of his time in Galilee. He came to Jerusalem maybe 3 times a year, and each time might last for a few weeks that he do all his ministry. But after that, he always go back to Galilee. All his disciples live there, come from there, and most of his ministry is in around Galilee. A great multitude follow him. Now you see that people from everywhere. And when Jesus went to Jerusalem, people from all over the world come to Jerusalem. And now a lot of them decide to follow him. But it's the difference between follow Jesus and become Jesus' disciple. The 12 apostles followed Jesus full time, mean that they left their job, they left their family, and be with Jesus 24 hours full time. But a lot of people who follow Jesus is sometimes. It's like when Jesus go to certain place, they follow him. And they get free food, they get sick, they get healing. So when they have need, they follow Jesus. They have sickness, they have need, they come to ask Jesus to pray for them, and they're gone. So this is a lot. You might say thousands of those people follow Jesus. But beside the 12, Jesus also have maybe a few hundred more that follow him almost everywhere. A kind of not apostle, but a kind of disciple. And we know that in this group, there are several women. You might call women disciples, that the Bible rarely mentions about them, but a lot of them follow Jesus almost full time, mean that wherever Jesus go, they're always there. What they do, they cook, they clean, they give money to support the team, and most of them are rich. They come from a rich family or have rich husband. They marry to the Roman soldier or the Greek officer. They have a half-bred children. but they believe in Jesus and they follow Jesus. A lot of them used to be sick or have problems, and Jesus healed them. And they decide to dedicate their life to be Jesus' disciple, support Jesus' ministry, and follow Jesus. And a lot of time with their children. In this group, you will see John Mark is one of that boy that followed Jesus since he was a young boy with his mom, and later on going to be the one who wrote the Gospel of Mark, the first Gospel in written form is from John Mark. He performed on those who were deceived, that a lot of people that follow him because they are sick, and Jesus healed them. Jesus went up on the mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. Now the Passover, a feast of the Jews, was near. Now is another year of Passover. Every year there is a Passover. For the Jewish calendar is on the first month of the year. So the Jewish calendar is like today the Chinese New Year, similar that way. They use the moon, it's not the sun. So it changes every month. It's different every year. Because the lunar calendar have 28 days in a month. While what we have in the sun calendar, we have 30 or 31 days a month. So we go over that Jesus went back to Galilee and a lot of people follow him, and all the sick get healed. And now is another year that Jesus have to do all the ministry in nearby Galilee. And John did not mention much about this time over a year. And because John said, I don't want to repeat what other people already talk about Jesus, what he did. John want to mention about something else that other gospel did not mention. And most of them are Jesus teaching, not about the event that Jesus healed sick people, feed people, all these things. John will skip them. But he's going to concentrate on Jesus teaching, deep teaching that a lot of gospel skip them. Now, when John talked about the great multitude, he talked about 5,000, 10,000 people. It's happened all the time when Jesus come to preach, and when the people know, and it have to have a certain time because the people there, most of them work too. But in the old days, most of the time they work maybe 6 months, 8 months a year, and they take a break because of the season. A lot of them who are farmers cannot work all year. They work about 8 months a year, and then they take a break because the field not ready. But some who also the shepherd will do another job, but they also take a break in a certain month too. And when they have a free time, now a lot of them will come to follow Jesus. Since those days, they don't have any entertainment, no television, nothing else. And to come to listen to Jesus, get free food and get healing from the sickness is a big thing. And everyone wants to come. So that's a big draw for people in those days. Why 10,000, 20,000, if you include children and women, maybe sometimes 30,000 people come to listen to Jesus and get free food and get healed. And everyone feel this is worth their time to come, besides stay home and do nothing. So this is a fun time for them. Here, the Bible says Jesus went up the mountain. Why? Well, some people say that because a lot of people there, and Jesus have to be on the mountain, on the hill, so he can speak and people can hear him. And this is a miracle. When you speak to 10 or 20,000 people in one time, how could you do that? Well, they say the location that Jesus picked to preach have the natural echoing sound, mean that it can his teaching, his voice can go around several miles, echoing all the hill or the mountain around there. We don't know. They say today you can go to those mountains and shout, and you hear yourself far away. So I don't know, but because we believe more that Jesus is God, he can make most people hear his teaching some way, somehow. And sometimes Jesus went on the mountain early in the morning or late at night to pray. Spend a lot of time with God, pray with the Father. And now this is a big thing. The Bible says that people come to Jesus from far away. They might have some food with them when they travel, but after a few days, all their food gone. And the disciple, the 12 apostles, worry that Jesus should let them go. Let them go their home, and so they can buy some food on their way home. It's not easy because tens of thousands of people, where they could get food. There is no McDonald's, there is no fast food, no restaurant in those days. It's just anywhere they can get to the farmer or neighbor or anyone who have food. Because after many days, they come and follow Jesus, or there's food that they have with them already gone. Now Jesus said that feed them. The apostles say, where are we going to get the food to feed all the tens of thousands of people? Jesus asked them, what you have? Well, they don't have much after many days. But some people still have some food left. And they believe that not all people lost all their food. Some might save some because they know they might take several days to come and to go. But still, all the food that they have is not good after many days in that hot weather, but they still have something. And Jesus said that feed them. When he mean that, he mean fresh food. So where are we going to get them? Apostles say that, well, we have some money, 200 denarii is the worth of a worker who worked the whole year, salary. But it can feed maybe several hundred people that saw this money to buy a food. But here is 20,000 people there at least. Where you going to feed the whole army, the whole nation, the whole village? Well, only God can do that. And Andrew told everyone that, well, a boy come by and offered some food for Jesus. You know that a little boy who lived maybe not too far, and he come to listen to Jesus that day. His mom might pack him some food, but he did not eat it. He want to offer his food to Jesus because he know Jesus teach all day and pray for sick people all day. Jesus must be hungry more than him. So he offered his own food to Jesus. It's so different. The rest of the people want free food from Jesus, but this boy offered his food to Jesus. What he have? 5 barley loaves and 2 small fish. Don't expect fancy food. Barley loaf is the food of poor people, and small and hard, but at least it's a food that's fresh. And small fish for a boy is not big, but he have the heart to give all to Jesus. Instead of eat some and share some, he give all. And this is the heart of someone who really loved Jesus that much, to give all to Jesus.
Pieces that are left over. Let nothing go to
And
waste.
Andrew bring that food to Jesus. Jesus said, take it here. And what he did, Now the miracle happened. It's a good question, when and how. The Bible says Jesus prayed and then break the bread and the fish and give to disciples. And the disciples distribute to the people, they eat. And everyone eat their fill and still left over. Now I want to ask you, think about it, where the miracle happened. In front of Jesus, it's just 5 small pieces of bread and 2 small fish. He take it in his hand, he pray and give to his disciple, where the miracle happened. After he pray, or when he break them, or after he give to his disciple, that some question. The disciple take from Jesus' hand and keep pass on to that 20,000 people. It's a lot of work. If miracle happened in Jesus' hand, Jesus have to pass on how many 10,000, 20,000, or the miracle happened in every step. When they pass on, it never stop. Mean that it multiply every time they pass on, they share. And they always some more to share. So I think the theory that the miracle happened in all steps, not just after Jesus prayed or he break the bread and the fish, but when he passed on and everyone passed on, it never stopped. You remember the story about the widow who Elisha told her to borrow a lot of empty jug and pot, and she pour an oil from her little jug into all those empty vessel. That little oil, jug of oil never stopped falling until everything that she had filled up. When she had no more room, the oil stopped. The miracle comes from that little jar that never stopped. So that is the miracle that happened. And fish is the main food that people in Galilee have because it's a big, fresh lake that people make a living on that by fish those fish. And today you can go to Israel, to Galilee, and there's a lot of fish. And we don't know because we believe that Galilee still have fresh water. But when they pass on to the south, to the Jordan River, the water starts changing color, changing taste. But when they go at the end of the Jordan River to Dead Sea, it's so salty that no fish can survive in Dead Sea because it's so salty, so thick. They say that if you jump into the Dead Sea, you will float. You will not sink because the mineral in there is so thick. Because no water who come here will go anywhere. It just evaporate out by the heat. It no outlet. So all the water from the Jordan come to Dead Sea will stop there. And Dead Sea is one of the lowest point in the world. So they say the mineral deposit there so thick that you will float. And no fish or no anything can survive in that water. So the process will happen. Jesus told them, sit down, and the food will come. Well, the 10,000, 20,000 just obey because they don't know what choice they have. They just hope that they get some food. From where? They don't know. What they're going to get? They don't know. But the disciples just told them that Jesus is going to feed them. They just have to believe because they have seen a lot of miracles. A lot of their sickness get healed. They see miracle already. Now they're waiting for another one. The Bible says Jesus take the food, pray, thank God, and break it, and distribute to all disciples. And they have their fill. They all eat until they cannot eat anymore. And I believe that everyone sneak some in and put them away on so they can have enough food on their way home. They save a lot of food too. And everyone eat until they're full. And then they still have leftover. You talk about 20,000 people. How much food they need? How much fish? A lot. So everyone happy. They're not disappointed that they follow Jesus. And the Bible will record only 2 times that Jesus feed the people, but we believe that Jesus feed them more than 2 times. Because tens of thousands of people follow Jesus all the time. You might say that every month maybe the big thing happen. And Jesus always have to feed them because there is no way for them to get food anywhere. After many days that they come to listen to Jesus teaching. Because the place that big enough for 10, 20,000 to camp, they camp there and they listen many days. Jesus teach them many days, so they camp there. Because they cannot travel back and forth to their home. It takes them to walk day after day, several days to come together to listen to Jesus. And they stay many more days, maybe up to a week before they go home. So this is a big thing. I don't imagine that 20, 30,000 people get together in one place for a week. Well, the similar situation might happen in the wilderness when Moses take 3 million Jews out of Egypt and camp out in the wilderness. You talk about 3 million people. How many of them? The whole nation of Laos, or the whole country of many small countries in Europe. And Moses lead that 3 million people walk for 40 years in the wilderness. I don't know how many acres that they need, but it's a miracle to see that picture. I know that I went to visit some refugee camp, and the camp have maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people. It's already so big. When you talk about 3 million, or Jesus talk about 30,000, a lot of people. And in verse 15, talking about now they want Jesus to feed them permanently, mean that they want Jesus to be with them, teach them, and feed them free food every day. Now it's a good idea. Since they don't need to work, they just come to listen and follow Jesus. When they get sick, Jesus heal them. When they're hungry, Jesus feed them.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good life. You don't need to work, and you get some entertainment. You meet all the friends all the time. It look like camping, look like fun, and a lot of people love that. They talk among themselves and say that we're going to ask Jesus to be our king. This is a new group of people, new nation. It look like a cow today, cow that some leader bring people to live in the jungle, in the wilderness, 5,000, 4,000, or 2,000. They live together as a big family. They farm, they marry, they have kids, and they listen to their master. It looks like today they try to copy this way. We call them cow or false teacher. But people still love this idea. They still want it. Even today, if you dare enough to ask people to follow you somewhere in the jungle and live there, Believe me, some people will follow you. They're so tired of life in big city. They want to try something new. If some people offer them, go with me, I feed you, I give you a place to stay, you don't need to work, just learn from me. Believe me, hundreds or maybe thousands of people will follow you. You just have to feed them every day, give them a place to stay, a group of home to be family, and hundreds or thousands people will follow you. I don't intend for you to be a false teacher though, but it's just to show that people are so hungry about some lifestyle that different from what they have today. They get so tired of this lifestyle. Work all day, live by themselves alone, and fight to survive every day, lonely in this kind of lifestyle that people doesn't like it at all. The Bible talks after this big thing, Jesus need time alone with God to pray, to fast, to meditate with God, and that leads how Jesus renewed himself spiritually, strengthened himself. And when Jesus on the mountain praying, his disciple went on the sea in the boat and go to cross to another side of the Galilee. You see that people live around the bay, similar to the Bay Area, or you in Washington State, you live around the big bay. And people around Galilee is that way. They live around the bay. Whenever they need to go to another side, another city, they have to cross it by boat. Today we have bridge, so that is a lot easier. In the past, we have to go by boat to ferry, cross it to go from one city to another city, and they take them all night because their boat don't have engine. They need the wind. Whenever the wind comes, they go a few miles. When the wind stops, they stop. Sometimes they row the boat if no wind at all and they want to go. So a lot of time it takes them all night to cross from one side to another side. And when the apostle is in the middle of the lake in the boat, Jesus comes. And the Sea of Galilee even is on top of the mountain, and they have mountains surround the lake. There's always some storm happen when the weather change, like in the afternoon it's so hot, but in the evening it become cool. The difference between the temperature of the water and the land make storm. Mean that when the land cool down so quick, but the temperature of the water is still warm, the air will move now from the sea to the land and in cycle. So you see that tornado or little hurricane can happen this way. And in Galilee, it happened all the time, especially in summertime, when the weather of the day and the weather of the night so different. This kind of little cyclone or storm or hurricane will happen. And this happened tonight too. The boat, small boat, sometimes it will sink the boat. And the apostles so afraid. What will happen to them? Well, they are professional fishermen. Most of the time they survive even the boat sink. But they try to row away from this situation against the wind to another side. It takes several miles. Now what they see, they saw Jesus walking on the water to them. Now, if you were the Jesus disciple at this moment, what do you think? They see ghosts. They never believed that Jesus can walk on the water to see them, to save them. And even they saw a lot of miracle, but each miracle is just end there, but they not expect another bigger miracle that will happen to them in their life. But Jesus told them that if you believe, you see even bigger all the time. God in control. God can do anything all the time. So we already covered a big story about how Jesus feed the people and why people follow Jesus and how his disciples trust in him by all the miracles they have seen privately, personally, and in publicly. But you think that they believe enough or their faith grows strong enough to pass all the tests? Well, we will see. And you will see that faith and belief is not grow overnight. It takes time. Okay, I will stop here at the end of verse 20. Come to you for your question and reflection a little bit. Okay, so far, how you think Jesus should feed the people more often?
Well,
Now you see, Jesus did not feed people so they will follow him, but he had mercy on them because he know that they're hungry and no food, so he feed them. So it's an opposite way. They already followed Jesus anyway. Jesus just tried to help them, but not using those things to lure them or to trick them. No.
why the disciple left Jesus on the boat? How do they, if they don't believe Jesus can do the miracle, why would they left Jesus? How do you expect Jesus to go to the other side?
Well, that the Bible quiet on that, but we know that those people live nearby, mean that they go home. When they come to Galilee, they want to go back to their home, to their family. After many days in the wilderness, they want to go home.
And they left Jesus on the other side by himself?
We don't know that Jesus told them to go first or because they feel that they may come back to pick up Jesus later on in a few days or something. We don't know.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah.
When they follow Jesus all this time and then they decide to get on the boat and knowing that Jesus is not with them. Interesting.
In some different situations, the Bible mentioned that Jesus sent them on their way to another side. Why? Because in different places they say that if the people saw Jesus with the disciple and crossed the lake, all the people will follow. They will follow Jesus to cross the lake to another side too. So Jesus intends for them not to see him go, but he will walk at nighttime, cross the lake himself. So those people don't know where he goes. So in another gospel, another prayer we mentioned that that's why he let the disciple go first without him. Why? Because Jesus knows that all these people just want free food and want him to be the king. And that is not Jesus' goal, not his intention. But they're serious about that. If you were Jesus, why not take a shortcut? Now, tens of thousands of people want to follow you, make you king. But this is not God's way. Man way. Shortcut. Now you see that Jesus have many shortcuts to do if he want, but he said no. This is not God's way. This is not God's plan. You remember that the first time when Jesus come out to do the ministry, Satan come to Jesus and offer him, worship me. I give back the whole world to you. You don't need to die. You take it back. Just worship me. Shortcut. Your job done. Jesus said no. God have his plan and have his way. The Father want this. I won't take another way. And we learn a lot from Jesus. If we have shortcut, most of the time we will take shortcut. If we take an easy way, we will take an easy way. Why we will take a long way, a difficult way? If that were the will of God, will you take it? Or take man way, a shortcut? Well, I believe that everyone offer us a shortcut, we will take it.
Sinajan mentioned about the wilderness that Jesus been tempted. What is in the revelation? And I don't want to get off the subject. That's okay.
Well, we learn a lot from this story about Jesus feed the people. And we know that he can do a lot of things easy way, but he won't. Because the Father have a plan that he will follow to the end. And we have to learn that way too. When God have a plan for us, we need to obey and do it God's way, not our own way.
Again, I just wonder that, between 20 to 30,000 people follow Jesus, and how they're gonna shower or use bathroom, all those things.
Well, they
No
don't shower often.
For many days.
People in those days shower a few times a year. And no problem, you see, they are by the lake side. If they want, they can jump into the lake. Or the fish will float up because the smell. But people in those days don't shower often. If they want, the lake is there. And how they go to bathroom? Well, the Jews have a very clean and orderly hygiene compared to the rest of the world. You know that the law of God, Moses told Israelites, when you go to the bathroom, you need to have something to dig a hole and bury it. Only the Israel have doing that for 5,000 years ago. Most other culture, no. You just go anywhere, poop and pee anywhere. The Israelites have to dig a hole first and bury it. This is the law. The law of God.
Yeah. Well, will be many holes,
Well, don't repeat the same hole. Normally, they will have aside a certain place outside the camp. That is their regulation too. So they know that this is the area that people go to dig coal and go there, do their private stuff. Not nearby the camp.
Yeah, I think must be a way to really well organize for those things.
Yeah, the Israelites learned all these things in the time of Moses when they are in the wilderness, 3 million of them. I believe they passed on this knowledge how to live together in a camp and go to bathroom or do a lot of stuff. I cannot imagine 3 million people in a camp and moving every few months. Unbelievable. Only God can do that. I think, yes.
Yeah, another question. When Ajahn mentioned about the woman disciple of Jesus and it's not recorded in the book, does that mean the woman disciples are less important or for some reason?
Well, mainly culture. Culture don't mention about women. But the book of the Gospel according to Luke will mention a lot of women. Why? Because one reason we believe because Luke himself is a Gentile. His mom is a Gentile, a woman, a Jewish woman, married to the Greek father. And he comes from a different perspective that maybe they honor women more. And his mom is one of the female leaders, disciple too. That's why he gives a lot more credit to women in his book. And culture play a big thing.
Okay, and another question, why Jesus spent most of his time in Galilee?
The Bible mentioned a few things. First, his home and all his disciple home is in Galilee. And when they go to Jerusalem, they are guests. They need to stay in some people's home. They don't have home in Jerusalem. And there is no Airbnb or motel there. It's not convenient.
Yeah.
So they come just for an important festival, and then they always go back home to Galilee.
Ajahn, just double check. You said Luke's dad is Jewish?
No, we believe his mom is Jewish.
So he's not a 100% Gentile. He's half and half.
Yeah, the best is half. Why we know that? Because we know that he comes from Philippi. And you remember that Paul started the church in Philippi when he wanted to go to Asia, the north, Syria, or those areas. But he said the Holy Spirit don't allow him to go. And that night he saw a vision. A man from Macedonia come to beg him to come to save us. So that man come from Europe. And when he went to Philippi, one of the early press in Europe, he found a group of women come to pray by the river. And they turned out to be all the Jewish women who married to the Roman husband, Roman soldier, or the Greek soldier. And the Jewish women lived there because Philippi is the special city for the Roman soldier. Other people cannot live there. So that's why no Jewish men live there. And all these women have education, have money, status, power. And Paul started the church there with all these women. They are leaders. They teach, they lead, they become deacon in that city because no men, only women. But the second generation or their children will be half Jew, half Gentile. And a lot of them going to be Paul disciple, Peter disciple, a lot of things. They will come to help the first generation. They all half Jew.
Ajahn, one more question. I don't know if that relates, but is it biblical for women to be pastor?
Okay, this is a very touchy topic. If you say that Paul women to teach, to preach in the book of Corinthians, yes, you're correct. Paul did not allow women in Corinthians to teach, to preach, or to lead men. But he appointed women in Philippi and other cities to be leader, to be deaconess. Why? Well, some people say that two main reasons. First, there are only them are believers, no men. Secondly, culturally, in the Roman, in the Greek culture, if you have good education, you can teach, you can preach. The Jewish women in many cultures don't have education at all. Only men have some education. So you don't have education, how can you teach the one who have education? So that we believe that some of the reason that Paul don't allow women in certain culture or certain city to teach. But some city, some culture he allow.
Yeah, I think I heard in the news in Southern Baptist, some of the church that allow women pastor, and then now they got no, I don't know, is that good word to say, like kick out from the Southern Baptist? Because
Yeah, the Southern Baptist just
policy.
kicked out Rick Warren Church out
Yeah.
of convention because Rick Warren appointed a few women to be pastor in his church. And the convention kicked him out. But when they vote, you know that a lot of Southern Baptists are in the South. They're super fundamentalist, conservative. But a lot of Southern Baptists in the West is more moderate. Rick Warren, they say, it's just moderate, not liberal. But they kick him out, kick his church out of the convention. In fact, he doesn't need to care because his church is so big, 20, 30,000 people. He can start the convention himself. You know about Rick Warren? He started his church here at Golden Gate Baptist. His dad is a student. And after that, his dad graduate, worked on campus as a maintenance guy, start a church in Marin County near campus, my area here. His dad pastored more than 20, 30 years, and his dad church never go bigger than 40, 50 people. And Rick Warren grew up in that church, helped his dad do teaching, preaching, youth work, everything. The church never grow bigger than 50 people. So he quit and go to do business and even run for office as a mayor. But finally, God called him, he gave up. He said he won't come to Golden Gate. He went to Southwestern in Texas. After graduate, he won't come back here. He go to Southern California, Orange County, the county that the super conservative in California. He knocked door and he invite people to start a church. The first week, more than 50 people show up. His dad worked 40 years and not more than 50 people, but his first week in Orange County, more than 50 people show up. And from that 50 people, it grew to 30,000. You ask him, he have new technique or anything new that different from what he used at his dad church many years ago? He said, no, the same thing. But why? In Marin County, 50 people. Over there, 30,000 people. The same thing. The same guy. Use the same thing. Different press, different people. The same preacher, the same teaching. So after he so successful, the former president of Golden Gate Seminary invite him, come back to help us in Marin County with the student, train us to do the same thing that you did. He said it won't work here. We said, try. Send your disciple, your right hand man, left hand man, come to help us. The president said, we will send 200 students to support your project here. So we do that with him for 20 years. He tried to start many churches, copy what he did in Southern California, not working. People who sit in his church in Marin County, 90% come from campus, mean that student, professor, staff, their family, everyone come from Golden Gate. Locally, people, nobody join. They try and try. Well, we call ourselves here is Sodom Gomorrah, Sin City. In Marin County, here allow campus, there are more Buddhists than Christians. And we say Buddhist is not Asian Buddhist. It's the white people who love Dalai Lama from Tibet, who do all the meditation, that kind of Buddhism.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's studies in the heart, นะอาจารย์นะ It's in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
In the heart that sometimes people, I think Marin County people, they think they're more righteous.
They're rich, they have education. They
They're
don't need
more
God.
righteous. They think they know more than somebody else, smarter,
Yep.
more privileged.
Yep, they're rich, they have high education, they're successful, they don't need God.
That's sad.
Yeah, sad.
It's supposed to be other way around, huh?
Mm-hmm. It's sad. So finally, Golden Gate run away from Marin County now. We sold the land here and moved to Southern California now.
Well, I think it's not because of the preacher. If you look into it, Marin County is the county that has the lowest Christian in California. So it's really the least believer live in Marin County. So it doesn't really matter who is preaching there, right? You know, even Bellingham, if he start a church there, probably not going to success either, because you start in the least county has the least believer who live in that county, versus the one that Rick Wallen, he started the church in where's the Orange County, which has a lot of believer there. So it's not the person, but it's the member that has not many people who leave.
Yeah, that answer a lot of questions. Rick Warren already told us he tried here before when he young.
I don't think we are going to finish the 2 chapters today. It's around 8:30 already.
We have 1 more hour. Let me try.
1 more hour or half an hour? I thought we supposed to finish at 9 o'clock.
If I don't give you a break. But if you want your break, we have half an hour, 40 minutes. Okay, we try to finish chapter 6 first. Now, the following day, the people did not see Jesus, and they know that the apostle just went by themselves. But somebody take a boat, go to another side, and they found Jesus on another side of the lake already. So all of them take their boat and come across to follow Jesus the next day. Now you see that several thousand of them, they say 5,000 men. This not include women and children. If you include everyone, there should be 20, 30,000 people. So they come in another boat, they're looking for Jesus, and they found Jesus on another side in Capernaum. Capernaum is the capital city of Galilee. It's like the headquarters of Jesus, a lot of activity going on. They're looking for Jesus and found him. And they complain that, why you come without us? We want to stick with you. And Jesus said that you follow me not because of the words of God or you want to be my disciple, but because you want free food and healing, fun, entertainment. Well, if you were Jesus, should you say the same thing to them? They want to follow you. They want to be part of your ministry, but with the wrong reason. You should correct them now or let them know by themselves in the future. Well, Jesus decided to let them know upfront. If you want to follow me, deny yourself, take your cross, and follow me. Not because of free food or healing or entertainment, but because you know that you are a sinner and you need salvation. And you need me because of the right reason. So this is the main thing. Jesus tell them that I will give you new life, not just food. And here the Bible mentioned that Jesus called himself Son of Man. Try to let them see the difference, and we often get the idea that Jesus is Son of Man and Son of God in the same time. Two personality in him when he walked this world. And that's the way God wants to be part of us and to help us. And we talk about God the Father who put the mark or the seal on Jesus so he can use him. And if you go about the mark, the seal on the old day, when some important people write a letter, they will put a seal, a mark on the letter. And people know that this is from that person. Because you don't have that seal for everyone, just important people. And I think that the tradition go all over the world. The Chinese use the seal, the Egyptian use it, the Roman use it, the Greek use it, the Jewish people use it. So it passed on from generation to many cultures. Now the people answered Jesus. Some of them are smart people, and some of them are scholars too, not all the simple people. All kind of people want to follow Jesus, just with wrong reason. And now this smart guy asked Jesus. Jesus said, I come to do the work of God, and this is the work of God. Jesus answered them, the work of God that you believe in him whom he sent. Now, they try to understand the work of God can mean different things for different people. And for these people, it means that you have to believe in Jesus that God sent to save you. This is the work of God for you to do. And this is something they cannot do. And the work of God is always difficult to follow because this is the will of God for each one of us. And a lot of time we don't want to do the work of God. We just want to do our own work. What we want, not what God wants. So in short, the work of God is the will of God for you. What God has for you. What God planned for you. That is the work of God for you to do. To obey God in your life. And this is going to be the most difficult for everyone. Because we want to obey ourselves. We want to satisfy ourselves, not God. And Jesus tell the people that you cannot do this. Even you say you want to, but you cannot and you will not. Well, this is a sad answer. To believe in Jesus as God and Savior, they cannot. Why a lot of people cannot believe in Jesus? Well, because they cannot give up themselves or whatever they have in this world to follow Jesus wholeheartedly. A lot of them will follow sometime when they need food, when they need healing, when they need help. But when those needs gone, they go their way. To follow Jesus means that you give up everything and be part of Jesus. And that's tough, that's difficult. And now the people tell Jesus, well, show us the sign, the miracle, so we can believe in you. Well, people want more sign, one more miracle, so they will stick with Jesus. So now this can tell something that they don't really believe in Jesus' teaching. They just want something that they want, that Jesus can give them more. Besides food, besides healing, now they want more. What can you give us more so we will follow you? Well, Jesus said that I did not come to feed you or to save you physically, but to save your soul, to bring you to salvation and bring you back to God. This is Jesus. Tell them that what I'm going to give you. Now, Jesus mentioned about Moses here in verse 32, 33. Jesus mentioned that they say Moses feed the people of Israel for 40 years. But Jesus said, Moses did not feed you. God the Father feed you. Through the manna that falling down from heaven every day for 40 years. Every day. Never miss. And feed many generations of Israelites in the wilderness for 40 years. God feed them. And why? Well, that's the only option. Now you look at the map. From Egypt, go to Palestine. If they walk straight, the men might go there with the family in 4 months. But if the men walk by themselves, they might go there in 40 days. But why the Israelites take 40 years to get there? Well, they don't believe. They don't obey. They rebel. They complain. They do all the bad things. So they're not ready. So the whole generation that come out of Egypt all die there in the wilderness. But their children have the chance to get into the promised land. So this is something Jesus said that this is the sign I want to show you. So people have misunderstanding about God or what God wants for them. Why? Well, one thing is the leader teach them wrong. Another thing is they themselves don't want to obey God. They just want what they want. And they use God as an excuse to do whatever they want. They misunderstood God. And now, when Jesus mentioned about the bread from heaven, some of the smart people say that, give us that bread. We want it. Because they think that Jesus is going to feed them every day, like the Israelites 40 years. It means that they don't need to work anymore. But Jesus said that I am the bread of life. It's not just regular bread. Now they have problem. When Jesus said that I'm the bread of life, they understand that Jesus means that they need to eat Jesus. So now they have problem. And Jesus will keep teaching on that you need to eat my flesh and my blood. to be part of me. That in the spiritual sense, you have to be part of me. Eating means that you take something into your body to be part of you. Drinking something means that you put something into your body to be part of you, to be one. And Jesus means that in spiritual terms that we and him have to be one. So we can have a new life. We can have a new beginning. And that is difficult for people to understand because they think about the physical form only. They don't think about the spiritual form that Jesus tried to teach them. They want it, but what they want is a physical bread every day until they die. But Jesus said that I am the bread of life. Eat me, have me. Well, all that the Father give me, I will by no means cast out. Not to do my own will, but to the will of him who sent me. Jesus said that if you are part of me, I will never desert you, mean that you're going to be with me forever. And the promise that I have with you will last forever. But you see, Jesus tried to talk to them in the spiritual sense, their need, but their understanding is just physical need. They cannot get to the point that what they need is their spiritual new life. And Jesus tell them that, well, I cannot do what I want to do, but I do what the Father sent me to do. In the sense to answer them that you want me to be your king to feed you. A lot of men will want that, to be your king and to rule over you. But it's not God's plan. I cannot do that. And Jesus tell them that I come to save the one that the Father sent me to save. And I will not lose them. Anyone who have been chosen. And here he mentioned here, anyone who see the Son and believe in him may have everlasting life. God will give that life, that a promise. You will live forever. And don't worry about what you're going to eat, because when God makes you live forever, you will don't need to eat anything anymore. Our physical body need to eat every day to survive. If we don't eat, we will die soon. But the new life that Jesus is going to give you will last forever. And that is the best that man can have. But the Bible in verse 41 will say that Jews start complaining because they don't understand his teaching. And they don't like what Jesus talked about eating his flesh, because what they want is the real bread. They don't want all this kind of teaching. They just want to fill their tummy and be happy every day. And now amongst all the Jews who live in Galilee, in Capernaum, a lot of them know Joseph and Mary because all the Jews are related to one another. And all Mary, Joseph relative live nearby. They always say that, oh, I know who Joseph is. I know who Mary is. And now they start checking that, can this be the Son of God? Can this guy who lived among us for 30 years turn out to be Son of God and do all the miracles? Now they start doubt him. Because Jesus had been here for 30 years without showing anything, because it's not his time. But now one day he just pop up and do all the miracles. So they're surprised, especially the one who relate to Joseph and Mary. They doubt him. And the Bible says that even Joseph and Mary's children, also doubt Jesus because he kept quiet for 30 years. But one day when time comes, he just performed all the miracle like a new person. I believe that if you grew up with Jesus and never seen any miracle before, and one day you saw all these things, how you think? You doubt. And a lot of Jews complain because they don't get what they want. And they're not happy. They say they leave their home, they come all the way to follow Jesus. They want Jesus to rule over them, feed them every day. And they expect that. And now they disappoint because Jesus don't want to do that. Now it turned against him now. They complain and they say that Jesus did not help them. So Jesus will confirm to them that later on, very few people will follow him because they don't get what they want. And what they want is physical satisfaction, food, fame, wellness from sickness, success. And this thing all if you promise to the people. But this is not what Jesus promised them. Jesus just promised them new life from sin, forgiveness from God, everlasting life. But they don't see it. They don't want it. And it happened in those days, even until today. People still come to this point that if they want to come to church to follow Jesus, Jesus is supposed to bless them, make them rich, happy, famous, all these things what they want. But they don't care much about new life from sin, spiritual blessing. They don't care much. Okay, I will stop here a little bit. And Jesus said that only the one who come from the Father will come to me. Who believe in me has everlasting life. I am the bread of life. Your father ate the manna. Oh, we already repeat this, sorry. He who feeds on me, abide in me, and I in him. This is the secret. We talk a lot. You need to be part of me and get into me by eating. The symbol of eating is we are become one. And we have to do that in the spiritual sense. Later on, Jesus will start the Lord's Supper the same way. When he gave the bread to his disciples, he said, this is my body, my flesh, eat it. And the wine, he will say, this is my blood, drink it. So I'm going to be part of you, and you become part of me. And at the end, a lot of people complain, oh, we don't understand him. We don't know what he tried to teach us. And we just want simple thing, but he's not going to give us. So a lot of people decide not to follow Jesus. And Jesus asked his apostle, will you leave me too? Well, a lot of them decide to follow Jesus now. They don't want to leave. Now the apostle is different. The 12 leave their job, leave their family, and everything, follow Jesus full time. Wherever Jesus go, they go. Wherever Jesus stay, they stay. But several hundred more follow Jesus sometime. To listen, to help, to do ministry. You remember when Jesus sent the 70 disciples to witness, to share the good news. So Jesus has several more hundred who follow Jesus most of the time, but not full time. So he had at least another group of disciples that you will see most of the time, but not full time. Okay, I will stop at the end of chapter 6. You have any more question or concern before I try to go to chapter 7?
On this chapter, talking a lot about Jesus himself. What is his nature besides being human? In terms of being God being, Jesus is, what is his nature? Is compared to the angel? Is he an angel-like?
No, in the human form, he is not angel. A lot of people always try to say that Jesus is angel. No.
In
Jesus is not.
spiritual before he become human, is he some kind of what kind of God nature that is? How about the Father? Is he just Jesus and the Father have the same nature?
Yes, according to the Bible, Jesus say, I and the Father are the same.
One, okay.
Yeah. You see me, you see the Father. So we have the same nature, the same quality.
What is that nature?
Well, it's the nature of God. It's not like us. We are nature of man. It means that we going to get sick, we die, we have a lot of habit. But Jesus have the nature of God, mean that he permanent, he holy, and he live forever, all powerful, and can do anything he want. That's the nature of God.
So, Ajahn, I have a question. On your note, the word 40, I believe the words, when you quote from the Bible, the words, what version are you using? Is NIV or New English Translation? What Bible version is that from?
Most of the Bible I use in my note come from NRSV.
Oh, NISV, okay. Because in the note, I see him, you refer to him, some of them is a capital H, him, and some of them is like lowercase h. So I believe the capital, it usually mean it refer to God, right? And the lowercase it mean us. Is that correct?
In the capital always mean God or Jesus himself, but the lowercase can mean many things. It depends on the context of that situation.
Okay, so on the word 40, you said, what is that? And this is the will of him who sent me, that everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So when he said, I will raise him up, so him in this case is us, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Just want to clarify. Thank you.
Welcome. It's good in English, we can see the difference, but in many languages, you cannot tell the difference. But in Greek, it's even better in many ways.
On that, raise him up in the last day. Is that mean like what's that mean? The last day is the last day of that's a resurrection.
Yes.
When the God said all the bone and will come from everywhere. Is
There
that
are
what
many.
you meant in that palm?
In many situations, when we resurrect, the Bible will say is many stages and many group of people resurrect in different time. But everything will happen in the end time, but the end time is not one moment. It takes several years or thousands of years. But that is the end, yes. but they end not just one day or 1 year. It's a long time too.
For my father will
Here, Nathan.
everyone look.
And when Jesus started doing his ministry, and a lot of Jewish people kind of like, wow, he's just like the son of Joseph, you know. So if they were living in the same town, same, you know, if they were just a neighbor, they should know that this boy is different. He might not do the crazy thing like other regular boys do. Don't they recognize that, or they just be ignorant?
It can be difficult to say because people in those days don't associate that much. They just come together a few times a year when they have wedding, like when he go to the wedding with all the family, or when they go to the temple in Jerusalem together as a big family. So they get together just sometime, not all the time, not like us every weekend. We get together, have party, have fun. No, they don't do that. They just met a few times a year. When they have wedding party or when they went to the temple in Jerusalem. So if you ask, they know well each other? No. They don't know each one so well. Yeah, Kat?
อาจารย์ so how about Jesus when they left him behind in that time it's about 10 years old, right?
Well,
how about after that? So why we don't know about his story until 20 something year and that he pop up. So do we know about that the story where he at?
You know that the Roman Catholic Church have everything. But we Protestant don't buy it. The Catholic have seen Jesus as a little boy. He carved the wood bird to be animal, and all the wood come to life. And many other story about Jesus.
Yeah, I saw
But we don't have it.
Oh, how about I heard the rumor said, did he travel to the India to have the study over there with the Joseph? No, John.
No. You know that Mormon said Jesus come to America to preach to the Indian. All kind of weird stuff. Yeah, the story that Jesus went to India and make all the guru.
They said they still have his autograph, this and that. Oh, okay.
So that's not true, right?
No.
That's not true.
No.
No, anything out of the Bible we don't believe.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
John, back to you said Catholic, they have more detail about Jesus' teenagers' years. So how come we don't, and how come do they do?
Because the Catholic Church just make it up about 50 years ago or 100, 200 years ago. How can you believe something that just make up 200 years ago?
Just try to connect that. Okay.
You can do that, write something about your past, that you are the loyal king that born and somebody stole you out of your palace, put you in the poor house. And now you try to claim your loyal kingdom back. Okay, let me try to cover chapter 7. Okay, after this thing, Jesus walked in Galilee, and he did not want to walk in Judea. This means that he wanted to live in Galilee most of the time. And he went to Judea just when they have a big festival. Why? Because they know now the Jew. Okay, in the Bible of John, when they mention Jew, it don't mean the simple Jew. They mean that the leader of the Jew. But they use the word Jew to represent the leader, the Pharisee, the priest. And some people feel that why John mentioned about the Jew are bad guy all the time. Well, because they wrote this book to the Gentile. And there are two groups, the Jew and the Gentile. So when he means Jew, it means the leadership of the Jew. And in other places, he means Gentile. So that two big group that he want to refer to back and forth between the Jew and the Gentile. Now the Feast of the Tabernacle was at hand. This is another big festival that all male will go to Jerusalem. And this is the time that one of the big time that people do. They can do a lot of things and time change, the thing change. In time of Moses, the people of Israel will live in tent to remember when the ancestors lived in tent in Egypt, or when they come out of Egypt in the wilderness. They live in tent for 40 years. So that memory will come back to the children that once a year they will live in tent. How they make a tent is not a real tent. They just take all the palm leaf, all the branches, and build a temporary place, and they get in there to live there in the daytime for a few days. But at nighttime, they still can go home. It just try to memorize their ancestors, how they suffer. They don't have home, and God help them. All this situation for the children to remember the ancestor time. And now in verse 3 to 5, the Bible says that his brother, being that the son of Joseph and Mary, told Jesus that if you want to be famous, if you want everyone to know you, go show yourself. Show your miracle. This is time. Well, Jesus said that it's not my time. And you remember that he answered Mary before, when Mary come to him and told him that they already used all their wine. And why Mary want what she want? She want him to help the host make some wine for them. And she know that Jesus can do that. But Jesus tell her that this is not my time. This is not my calling. Jesus tried to confirm to all of them that God have timing for everything, and he obeyed the time of the Father. Not because people encourage him to show himself off or to do something big. That's not his way. So when Mary said that, he won't do it. But later on, the Bible says he did. Not because of Mary, but because of mercy of the guests or the people who don't have anything to eat anymore. And it happened many times that when Jesus healed the sick people, the Bible says he have pity on them. And even not time, you remember when a Samaritan woman come to beg him to heal her daughter. Jesus said, not my call. God sent me to save the Jew. But later on, he healed her. Why? Because of mercy. Even it's not God's plan. But you see, God very flexible because of his mercy. And people beg him, he will do it. And here in the same situation, his brother begged him, go to Jerusalem, show yourself, show your power. So everyone who come from all over of the world, the Jew, normally Jerusalem have just a few thousand people live there. But in time of festival, hundreds of thousands of people will come there. 10 times, 100 times more people. They cannot live there, they live everywhere nearby, but they come at their time to celebrate in Jerusalem. And this is a big thing. And Jesus said, I won't do that because you encourage me, but my time will come. And the Bible mentioned that his brother did not believe in him. Well, they won't believe in him until after he come back from his death. After his resurrection, or the brother believe in him, that nobody can come back from death, only God can do that. So now they accept him that he is God. So a lot of question that in that 30 year that he lived with them, they don't see any miracle, they don't see anything. Well, the Bible says that Jesus keep quiet because he said, it's not my time. He don't use his power, even he have the power. So this is why it proved that even his brother don't see all the miracle in those years. So here he just mentioned that my time had not yet come, but your time always there. So he just told them that you can do whatever you want, but I cannot. I have timing for everything, and the Father set up everything. I obey him in every detail. And somebody used this occasion to say that Jesus don't know a lot of things. So it means that Jesus as a man, as he said that, I don't know the time. The apostle asked him, when is the time of the end? Jesus said, I don't know. Only the Father knows. And he correct as a man, he doesn't know everything. He have to wait until God timing, so he know what happened. But as God, he know everything. But as a man, he don't know anything. He just obey. So that two personality that Jesus have in him all the time. But we need to know that which time he talk about him as a man, which time he talk about him as God. And Jesus mentioned to his brother and his disciple that the world cannot hate you, but it hates me. Why? Well, when you're nice to the world nice to you. But when Jesus tell the truth about the sin of the world, they hate him. And Satan, who rule the world, will hate him too. And Satan will make everyone hate Jesus too, because Satan control the world, control everyone that don't have God. So you see, this is a big war. How Jesus going to save all men who controlled by Satan. This is a big war to save the soul of man. Well, the world and Satan are friends. They are in the same side, but Jesus comes from another side, so they hate Jesus. And Jesus as a man said that my time not here, I cannot go, I will not go. Because he don't know what next. But the Bible says that after his brother gone, a few days he went to. And people doubt that why he changed his mind. No, he did not change his mind. He just obeyed God to the minute, to the hour. Now God said, time now, go. He go. So this is absolute obedience. You don't plan ahead, but you obey in every detail. Minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, whatever God tell you. And we cannot do that. We need to plan ahead. We need to know the future. We want to do this, do that next year, 2 years, 3 years. But Jesus live by minute, hour, with the will of God. Exactly. And no doubt, no question asked. Whenever God tell, he do it. But we will argue with God, we bargain with God, and we do everything because it's not our plan. Inconvenient. We always say that. But here the verse say not openly mean that a little bit in secret. Why he don't want to take the attention out of the main festival. People come here to worship God, to do a lot of things from far away. They travel here to sacrifice a lot of things, and Jesus don't want attention to himself. That's not his goal. And now a lot of people complaining about him. You see a lot of tens of thousands of people who follow him to Galilee, free food. And now they come to Jerusalem too for the festival. And they complain because they're disappointed that Jesus did not lead them to a new country and to be the king and to feed them. They're disappointed. And they complain here in Jerusalem to everyone. But a lot of people say that he's a good man, he helped people. But some people say he deceived us. So now people divide about Jesus now. But the normal people don't talk about Jesus openly. Why? Because they know the leader doesn't like it. So they talk in secret, privately. And they wait to see what the leader will do. Now in the middle of the festival normally lasts about 7 to 8 days. The Jewish festival normally lasts that long. Why? To give more time to people. People come from far away. So they normally last a whole week. And now in the middle mean that maybe after 3 days, Jesus stand up and start teaching again. And people say, well, why he come quietly? Now he show himself publicly. Well, he obey God. The Father lead him. Now this is the time to preach. And a lot of people who come from everywhere will hear the truth, the good news about salvation again. And now a lot of people, even his friend or family from Galilee, surprised because he never heard Jesus teach or preach before. This is the first time. So they're surprised that where he get all the knowledge, all the power, authority, better than the scholar, better than the leader. So they're just surprised because they never expect something like this. And Jesus know the Bible from his heart because he himself know the Bible. Now this is something special. Jesus does not teach the Bible. He know the Bible. It's different from us. We all study Bible. We share the Bible words. But Jesus know the Bible. And he speaks his own words to the people. Wow, this is more authority. The one who knows the Bible come to share the Bible to the people. This is my own words. This is what I say. It's not about I sharing about someone. This is me, my teaching, my words. So this is so powerful. And people surprised, never heard something like this. Now this is important though. When you share the words of God, you need to have that authority from God. So people know that God using you. When you don't have that authority, don't have that power, your message, it doesn't mean much. God is not in there. And Jesus said that I did not come to be honored. I did not come to get respect. I just come to tell you the truth from the words of God that you need to know. And they come to argue with Jesus about the Bible, about the law. And they argue with Jesus many things. And now you can see that they don't understand the words of God. They just know it from what the teacher tried to tell them. But Jesus knows the words of God from his own heart, because this is his own words. So he tells them from the fact what God's intention for every law. The leader of the people teach them from the letter of the law. They don't understand the heart of the law, the meaning, real meaning that God intends for the law. But now when Jesus comes to tell them the real meaning of the law, the heart of the law that God intends for them, it surprised them. And some of them, the leader cannot take it. So they claim that Jesus is mad or possessed by demon or bad spirit. Why? When they claim that, they can kill Jesus or get rid of him, because now they try to put the mark on Jesus by saying that don't listen to him. He mad. He possessed by bad spirit. This is the way they build up against Jesus and try to tell the people to get away from Jesus and his teaching. And now they argue with Jesus about the Sabbath. Jesus healed a lot of sick people and do miracle on Sabbath day. And they get so mad. They say that we're supposed to rest, do no work. But Jesus said that you don't understand the meaning of Sabbath. God wants us to rest, yes, to worship God too, and to do good things. And that's the whole heart of Sabbath. Not just to sleep all day. That's not the goal of God. But the leader wants to teach that way. Sabbath is sleep all day. But in fact, the leader did not do that. But they forced the people to sleep all day. So Jesus tried to tell them about the real meaning of everything that God gave to Moses, to the people. The real intention. And now the argument go on among the leader and the people. Some believe in Jesus, some say no. And now they start fighting one another. What should they treat Jesus? As the prophet of God or the fake guy who come to lie to people? And the argument go on. Some people say that they should get rid of Jesus, and some say no. He the man from God because he can do miracle. He can teach like no other man. And now they argue about where Jesus, the Messiah, come from. The prophet talking about Jesus come from David's family. David come from Bethlehem. And now they say Jesus come from Galilee, from Nazareth. This is not from David, but they didn't know that Jesus born in Bethlehem, from the family of David. But he grew up in Nazareth. So you see that even the leader of the people don't know the Bible correctly. They just know some, but misunderstood a lot. They claim that Jesus is not from David. Jesus is not from Bethlehem. He said Jesus come from Nazareth. They don't know Jesus' background at all. And Jesus said that it's not important. Since I know where I come from, God sent me. And he sent me to do my work. Now they decide that they need to get rid of Jesus. Not only because of his teaching, but now people doubt the leader now, that what they should obey Jesus' teaching or the leader teaching. Now the leader cannot stand that. Jesus challenged their authority. and all their living depends on people who trust them, obey them. And Jesus told them that I'm going to be with you for a short time, and later on I will go, and you cannot find me anymore. And they don't understand that. They just think that Jesus will run away, move to some other place, but they don't know that Jesus will be with them for a short time before he got killed, crucified on the cross, and they don't have him anymore. This is what he tried to say to them, but they don't understand. So this is the whole thing that Jesus tried to tell the people. And the argument is about Messiah. Messiah just means that Savior. Translated into English is Savior, someone who comes to save you. And in many religions, we have this word too. In Thai, they call Si Araya Mettai. In Bali, in Sanskrit, also Mettaya. It comes from the same root in Greek, in Hebrew. That Savior, someone who comes to save mankind, come to help mankind. And this is some prophecy about the Messiah. He will come and save people. He will heal people and help people, restore their life, their hope, their marriage, and everything that Jesus fulfilled. Now, on verse 37, 39, mentioned about the last day of the feast. Jesus stood up and saying, if anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. Now, Jesus said that I am the living water. And anyone who drink me will have everlasting life. But he doesn't mean the physical need again. He compared, because in this festival, they will pour water as a symbol of God give the Israelite water in the wilderness too. So he used that occasion to talk about comparing the water that the Israel drink, they have to drink every day for that 40 years to survive. But Jesus said that if you drink me one time, you live forever. Even better. And the leader don't like that teaching because they feel that Jesus come to take whatever they teach and claim himself to be God. But Jesus means in the spiritual sense, if anyone drink Jesus once, they live forever. They don't need to drink again. One time, save them forever. And that's what Jesus means and try to tell them. And whoever believe in me, their heart will fall with river of living water. New life. That's what he means. You will have new life forever. And it come out from inside, not from outside. You don't need to put anything inside anymore because you have a living water in you. Mean that the new spirit that will last forever. And you never die, never thirst, never need anything again. But here the Bible mentioned that when Jesus talked about the Holy Spirit, it's not here yet. And they have to wait until Jesus went to heaven. And the Holy Spirit will pour down on all believers with new life. That the promise that will fulfill after Jesus left this world. But here try to mention that we don't have it now. And in the end, a lot of people believe now, say that he's a prophet. But a lot of people doubt that a prophet cannot come from Galilee. Now you see that a lot of argument, it doesn't make sense. But for them, this is all. They want to see all the sign, all the symbol, all the vision. But some believe, some don't believe. Some believe that he is God from God, and some believe that he is the con man, try to lure them, lie to them, and take advantage of them. So it's always this way. Not everyone going to be saved. Not everyone going to be his disciple. But a lot of people will believe in him. But here, the Bible mentioned in verse 50 about Nicodemus. You remember him in chapter 3? He, the Pharisee, the teacher of the law, come to Jesus at night time to ask Jesus about new life, born again. And Jesus teach him about you need to born again by water and spirit. Without that, you cannot get into the kingdom of God. And talk about you do your part by obeying God, take the water baptism. And God do his part by the Holy Spirit, give you a new life, new spirit. So that two parts that need to work together. So you went through the process of new life, born again, that Jesus said. So Nicodemus is in the Jewish council of leadership. The Jews have a council with around 70 leaders from 12 tribes of Israel. And Nicodemus is one of them who sit in that council to rule over the people. He stands for Jesus in many times now because he become Jesus' disciple, even not openly. It's secretly. And he will come out openly to ask for Jesus' body when Jesus died on the cross. And he take his body, Jesus' body, cream, and put in the tomb with all the spices. Nicodemus is the one who take care of Jesus' body after his death with Joseph, another disciple. And Joseph also one of the leader in this council, leadership council. So you see that a lot of leadership will become Jesus' disciple later on. But now they are believers in secret because they are afraid of other people. They are afraid about their job, their future. But in not so long from now, they will be disciple openly. And they don't worry about their job, their future anymore because Jesus resurrected from death. And to prove to them that he is God. Okay, this is the short version, so I can finish it on time for you. So you have questions, you have to go back and read everything yourself. If you have more questions, we can talk more next week. (9:30). Anything that I can pray with you before I let you go? Okay, I won't let you ask. Yes.
Pray for concentration. Try to understand. Try to understand. This is quite complicated.
Yeah, go and read all the notes and we can talk more if you have questions. Okay. Okay, let's pray. Loving God, we thank you that we can spend time together to learn your words. And we pray that you will give us the wisdom to understand even a lot of things so complicated, but I know that you can illuminate and make it clear to each one of us. Help us to use all this knowledge to teach other people and to bring them to salvation, to trust in Jesus, to be their God and Savior. Be with us until we come back again next week. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, God bless you all. So go to your small group. And I will see you next week. Good night.
Okay. พระเจ้าอวยพรครับ
ใจพรครับเจอกัน Bye bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.